What's up, folks? Tanya Smith here. Welcome to Stream Like a Boss TV. Look, tonight we're going to dive into some of the biggest updates that are happening. These are things that are creating a little swirl in the world of content creation. And I want to talk a little bit about them because they could impact your visibility, your content, and guess what? Your bottom line as well. So, being in the know is going to help you to grow. If you're a creator, a coach, a service provider, this is probably the intel you did not know you needed. So, I want to talk a little bit about surviving in the age of digital creation, and I'm going to share at least five, count them five, different updates. Now, a couple of them I'm probably going to just do a little overview because the other three are going to take up a lot more time. So welcome to Stream Like a Boss TV. Once again, I'm Tanya Smith. This is the show where we help you to create impactful live streams and video podcasts that can turn crickets into cash and conversations into conversions. So I am a live stream video strategist and a business coach, and I typically work with coaches, creators, and other service providers. And I am thrilled and honored that I get to be with you this Thursday. So we do go live most Thursdays. I give myself grace and space to take a week off now and then. But tonight we are here with you all week. We've been doing live stream summer school over inside of Substack, and that's been a blast. So if you've had a chance to spend some time with us over there, I am thrilled and again honored and humbled that you took the time to come and spend a couple of days with me learning and finding out a little bit more about the essentials of getting started with live streaming. So I'm going to check a few things really quickly here and make sure we've got our folks on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course on Substack as well. If you're here from either of those platforms, feel free to say hello. I do see some folks that are in the house already. Let me do a really quick, I'm going to try to pull up comments. Now, I'll show you for those of you who are in Substack, I'll be able to see you. Hey, on screen is OG. Hashtag OG Dr. Stacy Moore in the house. Love it, love it, love it. Welcome from Substack. Then I got somebody from YouTube. It's Dr. Vibe, the Dr. Vibe show in the house. Chris Stone, let's go from Dealcasters on Facebook. So it's wonderful to see all of you. Chris, we need to catch up. I know. Oh, gee, I haven't even put it up. Let me do that. So for those of you who have been here for a hot minute, you know one of the things that we do at the beginning of the show is we make sure we ask you where you're from, but then we also invite you to let us know if this is a new space for you. If you've never visited, you haven't been with us before, you're going to put in a hashtag newbie. If you have seen even one show, you're now family, and so we want you to put in hashtag OG. So which one are you? My OGs knew what to do, and so they've been putting hashtag OG in the comments, which I absolutely love. And if you happen to be watching on a replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay boss, so that I know, because I come back and I like to acknowledge you a little bit later on in the comments. I do try to check and make sure that I acknowledge you because I care. And it's important to me that you took the time to be here with us. So I am going to be popping up our comments on both the Substack side as well as YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the places that will actually show. I'll do my best to show them. I see Missy Johnson is in the house over on Substack. Good to see you. Replay boss. You're not replaying. You're here right now, Dan. But I do love it. I love it. And you may end up having to leave for replay. I get it. Dan Tana in the house. Hey, OG. Educated Natural, you actually won a t-shirt last night. What's up, replay boss? 24-hour boss is here too. Hey there, you are an OG. Yes, because you've been here. You know you fam. You're fam now. So you don't get to pretend that you're not family anymore, 24-hour boss. You are in the house. Love it. Okay, y'all. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about 5 different things. I've been doing a lot of research. I almost didn't do live. Can I be honest? because I was like, okay, I've been live 3 days in a row. I've been talking a lot. I'm tired. But you know what? I don't need to be tired for this. This is fun. This part is fun. Our Thursdays together are absolutely wonderful. So I thought, let me just pull in a couple of things in here that you might want to know about because I've been reading and my head has been like on a pivot. It's like, wait, and that's happening too. And so I thought, well, maybe I can share some things with you. So we'll talk a little bit about 5 things. Canva, we're going to talk about Canva. We're going to talk about AppSumo and an update that's happening there. We're going to talk about CapCut. That's been a hot topic. Some of you may know. And we're going to talk about Facebook and Midjourney. So those are the main things that we'll cover this evening. And if you've got some thoughts and some questions or commentary, I want to hear from you because I am very curious about what you all think of some of these updates and changes and stuff that's happening. Now, before I go deep and we switch on over into our main content, what I do want to do is acknowledge that today, my friends, is Juneteenth. Now, Juneteenth, in case you didn't know, before we head into tonight's topic, I take a moment to honor the significance of Juneteenth, especially because I'm right here in Texas. So on June 19th of 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, enslaved people in Texas finally learned that they were free. This day represents delayed justice, enduring strength, and the ongoing journey towards equality and freedom. It's not just a historical moment, y'all. It's a celebration of progress and a call to continue moving forward and not going back. So I needed to get that in there because it is significant. It is something that we need to know because Black history is American history. Hello. All right. Okay, what I want to encourage you to do is to go ahead and grab your favorite drink, a notepad and a pen. We're going to cover a lot tonight, so I will see you right after the short intro video, and we're going to dive into these trends and things that are happening because it's a lot going on, and we're just trying to keep up, right? Okay, let's go. I'll see you on the other side of this short video while you're grabbing your notepad and your pen. How y'all like that breaking news? CapCut, Canva, AppSumo, all the things. There's been news just coming out the wazoo. Is wazoo a thing? What is that? It's been news coming out everywhere. I've been seeing stuff all over the place. And so we're going to talk a little bit about this. And I think I'm going to start with CapCut. We're going to talk about CapCut and some of the controversial terms of service changes that they made on June 12th, y'all. It's really interesting. And having a policy background myself, I think I can speak to a few things, but I'm going to sit here and tell you right now, I am not an attorney. So I'm not going to speak to you from a legal angle. And if you do have follow-up legal questions, you're going to want to definitely make sure that you address that with your attorney, because I know I am. Okay. So in the world of digital content, the reason why this thing matters and these 5 things I'm going to talk about matter is because content creation tools, processes, all of the things, they change really super fast. And right now we're seeing shifts that affect how we create, where we share, and who ultimately controls our content. We're always talking about making sure that we act as owners. We are renting land on a lot of the social media spaces and a lot of these digital tools, but ultimately we want to have an ownership mindset. And in order for us to be owners, that means we need to be well informed of the things that are happening in the various spaces where we play. So that is why this is important. Most of you know I like to give you that first. What's the foundation and the reason we're even talking about this thing? So, we're going to talk a little bit about CapCut's controversial terms of service. Before I do that, let me acknowledge a few more people that are popping into the house. What's up? Let me go ahead and do this because I want to capture some of our folks that are here over in the Substack space since we're able to show that too. I see a heart. Let's see. And she said wazoo is a thing. Hold on, let me pop this up because that's hilarious. I asked, is wazoo even a thing? Dr. Stacy said, yeah, it is a thing. A lot of love, Hawkins. Love it, love it, love it. And let me get some of my folks that are over here in the YouTube space as well. Enrique Acosta Gonzalez is here in the house. Good to see you as well. And yes, Chris Stone, significant American history. Right. Love it. Okay. So let's dive in and let's talk about this thing. Okay. Here's what's happened. And I have sources. So for those of you who are like me, if you're like, okay, she's talking about this, but where'd she get that from? Did she make that up? I'm going to tell you all that for the past couple of years, I actually have been a part of a project that does deep dives to ensure that certain information that's being spread across the internet is factual and fact-based. So that is important to me. So I do have links that will take you to any of the articles that you might want to read further. And I'll try to make sure I put those into the description, especially in YouTube and definitely on Substack as well in the article. But that gives you the ability to go and read for yourself and comprehend for yourself some of the things I'm about to share. Okay. So first with CapCut. Because to me, that's the one that had my ears tingling a little bit like, huh? What are we saying? So CapCut updated its terms of service to allow themselves a perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, royalty-free license to use, reproduce, modify, distribute, and display your content, even if it's saved as a draft or never published. That's kind of important. This includes rights to your voice, your face, your likeness, and your editing style. Yeah. So June 12th, 2025. So the terms of service gave them all of this license to be able to use your likeness, your content, the things that you put out there. Your intellectual property is owned by them. This no opt-out. And the license is non-revocable, even if you delete your content or leave the platform. So if you do choose to stay, you do so at your own risk. But now, let me say this. I'm going to give you this disclaimer, and that is a lot of times we're not reading the fine print, and you probably are already playing in spaces like Meta, right? You're probably playing in spaces already that have a really tight terms of service that are taking privacy rights and other types of ownership rights, and you don't even know it. But this CapCut thing, y'all, it's getting a lot of attention because of the things that they put into it. Additionally, here's the other thing that's really, I think, important. And let me see if I can find the little blurb because I was really tripping off of this one. Yeah, it's not just, here it is. This is the one thing. Check this out. Besides the fact that it's non-revocable, there is no opt-out. Like you don't have a choice, even if you delete your content or leave. They said creators can be held liable if CapCut gets sued over your content. The indemnity section states that creators must defend and indemnify CapCut against third-party claims arising from their upload. So this means if you are sharing content out there, or maybe you didn't even share it because you didn't publish it, but you created it on their site or on their platform, and they end up using it, and something goes awry and they get sued, you are responsible for protecting and indemnifying them. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So to Hicks's point, let me go ahead and pop up this comment because I want you to see it because I agree. CapCut tripping. You do. You have to be aware. Sean Atkinson in LinkedIn, sir, it's good to see you. Yeah, it is wild. You have to acknowledge that there are going to be certain things that maybe you haven't been paying attention to, but maybe it's time to pay attention. And the thing about this whole CapCut thing is that it's been taking a lot of, or it's been getting a lot of attention because some people have been raising their hands saying, what? What are you saying? Hold up, right? And so it is crazy work, Lotta, right? And y'all, if you see comments that look like this, it's because it's over in Substack. I don't have as much license to be able to update the way it looks, but at least we can see it, right? So it's a start. Substack, y'all hear me? This is why it's important for end users and creators to read terms of service and agreements. And here's the thing, what's easier now than ever before, y'all, this, because she's right, Alicia is right. What's easier now than ever is that we have the opportunity to be able to take some of these really lengthy contracts and agreements that we've been signing and didn't understand. We have the ability to take a lot of that content and pop it into like a Perplexity, Claude, whatever your favorite AI tool is. I love Perplexity and I love Gemini for this type of work. But pop it in there and say, hey, help me understand. Like break this contract, this agreement, or this terms of service thing down and give it to me in 10th grade reader level. Give me the main points that I need to know as a such and such type of creator. What's important to me? And that will break it down for you. So we no longer have the excuse of saying, I don't understand because I don't read legalese. Okay? And like I said, I've been in the policy space for many, many years. So I probably am a little bit more adept at reading some of that stuff than most people are. But even so, none of you have the excuse anymore because we can understand it. We can use tools that will help us to better understand what we're signing away. And I honestly think that possibly is one of the reasons why people caught on to this so quickly is because it was like June 12th. Today is June 19th, Juneteenth, right? A week later, and people are losing their minds. And frankly, you have a couple of options. We want to talk about why this matters in just a second, and then I want to talk about some potential options for you. But let me pull up a few more comments because people are like, what? So they can post or use it wrong, and you have to clear their name. Yes, Sean, that is the way I'm understanding it. Again, I'm not going to pretend to be a lawyer or an attorney, but I will tell you that given the way that I'm reading it, that's what it looks like. So you will want to consult if you are going to continue to use it. You will want to consult. I know, Chris, sharing the Substack comments. What am I doing? Most of all we use literally gives our rights away. And that's exactly what I said, Enrique. A lot of times we are giving away our rights, but this is so blatant and so crazy that I'm just like, ooh, hey, Lisa, good to see you. Let's see, I've broken down countless legal docs. I know. And I do have a brand attorney, and I have a new friend who's a brand attorney over in my Substack space that I'm definitely going to have to convince her to come on video one day so we can talk about these topics because I think she'll be able to bring some additional perspective to this too. Okay, let's talk a little bit about why this is important if you haven't figured that out already. Right? Because I'm sure you're thinking, what? I don't want to have to pay for somebody to protect CapCut over use of my content that I didn't even know I was giving them access to. I know. It matters because even if you own or retain, if you retain ownership, what this language is basically saying is that they can legally use your video clips, your voiceovers, your images and ads, training, or sub-license to partners. They can own that. There is no option for them to opt out, for you to opt out. And the license cannot be revoked if you're using their platform, even if you delete your content or stop using the app, according to the words that are in the terms of use. And you can go read these yourself. And like I said, I will have links available for each of you. And I do have the specific CapCut terms of use or terms of service page that you can check into for yourself. Let's see. What it means for you as a creator is that it's risky. It's risky for you if you're doing paid client work. It's risky for you if you're sharing coaching content, any type of sensitive or proprietary material. If you record brand-related visuals or client videos in CapCut, it could be used in ways that you did not intend or agree to. So I will tell you that I had actually, even though I had a standard subscription, I think it was at some point, I had already made the decision that I was not going to upgrade or renew. And now I actually have decided it's a definite no for me. It's a cancel for me. That doesn't mean it has to be for you. What you can do about it, if you decide to stay, is you can stop using it for your high stakes content. Okay? So anything that you really, really are comfortable sharing on there, you just need to be aware of the rules of engagement. Keep local copies of all of your footage and your project files. So not just within their platform, but keep them on your own Google Drive, Dropbox, etc., your hard drive. And then you can consider moving to other tools, okay? So a couple of other tools that are out there. InShot is one. And I know it doesn't have all the fancy features. Instagram now has edits available to us, right? So if you're on Instagram, you should have the capability of being able to go and grab edits. I think it's open to everybody. I don't know that for a fact, but I think so. So go out into your iPhone or Android store and see if you can actually use that. Filmora is another one. So Wondershare Filmora has an option that's for mobile. And they also have a Filmora device or not device, but platform for your desktop, whether you're using Mac or Windows. So there are other options. And if any of you know of any other options, pop those into the chat as well, no matter where you are. If you're on Substack, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, I'm watching to see if you have some other options as well. I'm looking in the comments to make sure I can pull that up for folks. So definitely share. Let me see. And to your point, Dr. Vibe, it would be interesting to compare the terms and conditions here as compared to other platforms. Yep. And I've said that. I said that earlier as well. Cast Ahead Chris Stone said, let me pop this up. This is why we should never let a platform be more important than our content. This is why I always talk about how to become platform proof and algorithm independent. It is so important, y'all, more so than ever, because we're probably going to see more of a proliferation of these types of terms with other services that we're using, not just CapCut, but other services. And again, you probably have committed to things that you don't even know you've committed to in the current terms of service that you're using for other spaces besides CapCut anyway. Look, let me pop this up for Chris Stone. Lotta said, come through, Chris. Hold on. I got to switch back and forth here. Come through, Chris Stone. There she said it. I got to give you your props. She said she is taking notes. Okay. So if anybody has questions on what we just talked about in regards to CapCut, make sure that I know that question, okay? Pop it in there. And if I can help, then I will. And if I can't, I'm going to give you some resources to look up on your own so that you can do some deeper diving. But that one was a big one to me, and it was important enough for me to make sure that I shared that this evening. Okay. Let me ask you what your opinion is. If you are currently using it, will you stop? Yes or no? I'm just curious. If you're using it, yes or no, will you continue to use it? Okay. The next thing I want to talk about. This one was also interesting. Now, the first person I saw that posted this is Mari Smith, my lovely friend, Mari. Mari is the Facebook queen, or previously. She still is in my mind, although I know she's taken a little bit of a slight pivot, but she still knows all things Facebook. And so she had shared out that Meta had announced that all videos uploaded to Facebook, regardless of length, format, or orientation, will now be published and treated as reels. So I don't know if you all have seen this. This is on the Meta blogs page as well. So I have that linked for you too, that I'll be popping into the description. This update, according to them, simplifies publishing and applies the Reels experience to long form content. The Reels experience. I don't actually know what that's supposed to be. Maybe because I'm more these days of a long form content type of girl. Back in the day when I had my podcast called Snack Size Marketing, and I was preaching to the folks about, doing the short form content, and I know it has its place because every length and style of video in particular has its place. But here's a couple of things that I think matter. So there will be no more option to publish traditional videos separately. They basically all fall within the Reels format. So Reels now allow full length, horizontal, and vertical content. But Facebook is going to treat all videos algorithmically as Reels. Algorithmically, that's the word, as Reels. So this merges the short form discovery model with the traditional content delivery model. And to me, there's different reasons and purpose behind the forms, the formats. So I wish I could tell you what is behind that, other than, as Mari put it, the goal is the TikTokification of Meta, maybe? I don't know if anybody else has a thought about what that is. I don't know. Let me pop up this comment from Dr. Stacy Moore. She said, yeah, the setup, let's see if I can get you up there, lady. There we go. The setup was over the last 12 months to ask you to post as Reels if you posted a video. So they started that. Yep. And I knew exactly what you were saying, the setup. Yeah, because they have been really pushing it. And we knew that there was the potential for them to really kind of change this into a whole vibe, a thing because they're competing with TikTok, like really wanting to become TikTok, right? He says, say that twice fast, algorithmically. I can't say it 2 times. I can't. I want to thank Tanya for yay. Okay. Look, Enrique is almost at 1,000, y'all. So make sure, Enrique, you'll have to pop the link back up in here. I'm trying to help you get to that 1,000, sir. We got to get you there. He's over on YouTube, building and building. Okay. But yeah, y'all. So I didn't mean to do screen share. There we go. Because I'm going to screen share in a little bit. But this is interesting to me. So here's what it means for creators. Okay, these were my notes. What it means for us is that your content reach could improve with expanded discoverability because, they are prioritizing Reels. They've been doing that for a hot minute, but it's only going to give you that additional boost if your content plays well with the Reels style. So the way that people consume Reels, right? So creators who are focusing on long-term or long-form, rather, deep dive content like myself may see drops in engagement. And this is something we need to recognize if our videos are not optimized for quick hooks. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with this particular video that we're doing right now. I've split this up into different separate segments specifically for a reason. So I've got 5 points that we're going to be talking about, 5 segments. Each of those will become its own video. So we have to start thinking strategically, like, what does this mean for me then? How do I make sure that I can make this work? And how do I continue to repurpose or to write my content, initially my long form content, in such a way that I'm going to repurpose that into these different formats? So you got to rethink your introductions, your hooks, your thumbnails, your captioning strategy, all of those things. If Facebook/Meta is a place where you want to continue to play as it revolves around video, okay? The Reels First algorithm means that even your long form videos need strong hooks and engagement strategies to perform well. That's what it means. So these days, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, and then I'll share with you a couple of thoughts on what to do about it. And I want to hear your thoughts too. So be sure you pop your comments into the feed. And I see one thing I'm definitely going to pop up from Dr. Stacy Moore because I think this is accurate. But what I'm doing these days, I haven't been really as actively promoting video on Facebook. And frankly, my Facebook page is not my priority. It hasn't been for some time. And I closed down my group, my Facebook group, last March. I think that was March of 2024. So for me, the priority for me as far as content is posting kind of a blending, a mixture of personal and professional content within my personal profile with the professional profile thing turned on. So the overlay, the professional overlay in your personal profile, that's where I'm getting more traction. That's where I spend a little bit more time when it comes to Meta these days. I don't necessarily focus all my time on creating video there, but you might. That might be for you. So if you are going to use that space as a primary space for putting and distributing your content, make sure that you're aware of this Reels change, right? I usually go live primarily now on YouTube and Substack as the priority first with video. And then the other spaces are extra as a courtesy nod, for instance, to LinkedIn, to Facebook. Those have become more of a republishing platform for me, to be honest. But that is my niche. That's because I've studied my audience. You've got to do the same and do some experimentation and measure and watch and see what's happening. What you can do if you're going to play in the meta space with video is add captions, a hook, and relevant hashtags, even for your long form content. Shorten your intros and create curiosity in the first few seconds. Repurpose your content, your long form content, with the Reels First experience in mind. So literally one of the things I'm thinking about with my longer live streams is instead of actually even posting my long live stream over there, since it's only up for 30 days anyway, what I may end up doing is not posting the long form live stream. This stream Like a Boss TV, might just go on my Facebook page. And then for my personal profile, which has the professional overlay turned on, what I could do is use Cast Magic. This is something I'm processing out loud with you. Use Cast Magic, which automatically presents to me from every live stream. It says, hey, I just gave you a short script or 5 scripts for Reels that you can create from your content that you made. I can go and create separate Reels, and maybe I'll do that like right after the show, and then have each of those going out on Facebook on the daily, like throughout the week. It's kind of a little recap and a teaser that sends people to the original content, which lives on YouTube and Substack. So that's a thought. Yeah. All right. Let me see what you're thinking, because I've got some comments in here. I'm going to pop those up real quick. Miss Halacute, and I see Sean as well. So I'm going to hit my Substack folks real quick first, so I don't forget to turn off the magic eye. One of these days I'll show you what that is. All right. Hold on. Let me do it this way right there. Boom. Monetization is affected as well with the whole Reels thing, right? Because now if every video on Meta is a Reel, then that's more competition in the Reel space, right, Stacy? So does that like reduce your possibility of being visible and getting the monetization? I don't know. Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Sean. Sean in the house. Halacue says hello. The beautiful Halacue. Lovely to see you. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, now let me pop up some other folks that are also in my other space because on YouTube, LinkedIn, etc., you all have thoughts too. So let's see what's going on. First of all, let me do this real quick for Enrique. He has popped into the YouTube channel, his YouTube, and I don't do this all the time, y'all, but Enrique, we're trying to help him get to 1,000. He's 34 away. So if you happen to be on YouTube and you are enchanted with his content, it would be a good time to help him to reach the 1,000. Let's see. Here's a question. Can you talk about posting video to Substack, please? I know I have an account. Okay. Don't let me forget, Sean. I will come back to that after we're done. Okay. And I need to do a video on it anyway because I keep being asked. I will also tell you that Chris Stone from Dealcasters, who's in YouTube right now in the chat, as well as Jim Fuse, I believe that they've done some videos that are really amazing that help you with Substack as well. But I will be doing my own, of course, because I do want to share how I'm doing it. We always have a little difference in the way that we do things. So I will come back to that. Cast ahead, Chris Stone. Facebook video for us is prioritized much lower. Yeah, Chris, that's where I am. If they're not prioritizing my video content and they don't want me to be there, if they're trying everything they possibly can to deter me from being there, then why the heck am I fighting it? That's how I felt when they said, we're going to start removing your lives after 30 days. It was in that moment that I made the decision that, oh, I guess they don't cater to me. So, well, therefore, I can make decisions to be somewhere else and prioritize other content. I mean, what? Other platforms. Okay, our audience is elsewhere. We're probably being monitored right now and reduced in the feed. Carlos Phoenix, good evening. Good evening. Spooling around. What's up? What's up? I like that. I like that logo, spooling around. Erica Horton, hey, what's up? It's good to see you. All right, so go where you are celebrated. Hello. Yeah, that's the mantra, right? That is the mantra. That's what we do now. It's what we do. I wish that these platforms would understand. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about, we talked a little bit about Facebook/Meta. We also talked about, what was the first thing we talked about? CapCut. So if any of you are coming in a little bit later and you missed that, you definitely are going to watch the replay. You want to go check that out because you want that information. Please, please be informed. If you're using CapCut, you want to know. Okay, so let's go to number 3, AppSumo. I want to talk a little bit about AppSumo because, and I know this is not video specific. I get it. Yes. And what I'm finding is that, can I just be honest? I do talk about video and I love live streaming and all of that, but I often do have people reach out to me for more than that. They reach out to me for systems, workflows, strategy, digital tools and apps and those type of things. And honestly, more of my content on YouTube, the ones that get the highest visibility are my digital app reviews. Facts. So a lot of times when I'm sharing about digital apps, many times I'm sharing with you some of the lifetime deals, right? Because I want you to be able to take advantage of them like I have been able to over the years. The investment one time, and then you have a lifetime usage of these tools to help you run your business more efficiently. So AppSumo happens to be one of the spaces where I've played a lot for a long time. I was pretty much a brand ambassador. I was out there like really talking about AppSumo. And frankly, one of the things that ended up happening is within the last year or so, there have been some disappointments with some tools that I thought were excellent tools. It's just the execution of how those tools were managed by the founders, by the startups that rubbed people the wrong way and caused distrust. And not only distrust of those specific individual founders and their teams, but also distrust of the platform itself. And so what I can tell is that AppSumo is trying their best to do things to draw, to recreate the trust that they have built over the years and to change up the way in which they are, I guess, promoting and taking care of things if something does go wrong. So here's what's happened. They're attempting in this moment to improve transparency. Now they're notifying users. This is something that came out in their group. So they have a group that's on Circle, right? And if you're a subscriber for their annual deal, so that you have kind of the pro level of AppSumo, they notified people in that space first that now they're going to be notifying users via email as soon as possible when something that you purchased, if a tool that you purchased is showing signs of failure. And they're saying they're going to do this even before the partner officially responds. I'm going to tell you how that's different from before, okay? They're also proactively applying something they call the "we got your back" coverage for certain shutdown or inactive cases. So in the past, what was happening is AppSumo would be like, yeah, so we're hearing some things about, and I'm going to name a name. I'm going to put a tool out there because a lot of you purchased this tool just like I did, and we loved it, and then we were disappointed. It was called Sessions, right? And so all of us bought Sessions, and we were excited, and we were using it, and then all of a sudden we start seeing, hey, we're not doing so well. First, we were seeing, hey, we're making millions of dollars, emails from the founder. And then the next thing we know, we're seeing, hey, we could shut down, help us out. And they're doing save sessions, right? Donation missions and things like that. So people are soaking money into it, trying to help it to stay afloat. Meanwhile, AppSumo, I don't want to say they were silent, but it took a while for them to be responsive to folks who were saying, we're like ringing the alarm and saying something's wrong here. And this guy is even taking more money with this save sessions thing he's doing. And so we want to make sure that we're protected from our, with our purchase. So the "we got your back" purchase policy has been helpful because with that particular product and some other products since then, what they are doing is they are, especially if you're a pro or a plus user, you're getting a refund and it's further out from the original refund period, right? But it's not in money, it's in credits to go and purchase other stuff. And if you're not a plus user, what was happening is you could get like 50% or whatever it was that AppSumo decided. I don't know that that was fully transparent either. But it was better than, sorry, too bad, you get nothing. But here's where the challenge was, and this is why I think that this is a good policy. Where the challenge was is what they were doing is they were like not telling you outright that this refund of credits was available. Instead, what was happening is you had to go out to the site, go to the founder or the startup's page and read it at the top. Like you didn't get a notification, and people were kind of shouting from the rooftops like, I didn't even know I needed to go and look this up. How would I know if I wasn't in a community? Like I'm blasting it all over my communities, but a lot of people just weren't aware. So the fact that they're trying to improve the transparency, I think, is very key. So if you are an AppSumo user, that is important news for you. Not everybody here even knows what I'm talking about, but that is something that you want to be aware of because that will give you the ability to have knowledge if you get the email notice versus having to go out there yourself and find out. Getting the email should help you to react more quickly so that you can protect your workflows and your money, right? Your pocketbook. So I do think that if your automation tool or your CRM or whatever it is you purchase from AppSumo starts glitching and they're aware that there's an issue, then you should get a heads up via email more directly than you simply having to go fish for it. And that allows you then to get a refund sooner versus having to chase it down later on in credits. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that was coming or that's here. What am I doing? I decided not to renew my Plus membership for this year. I will buy what I need. I still will share with you as I find different tools that are on lifetime deals. If I feel that they're credible after I've researched the heck out of them, I will share. But we all need to be aware that there is a risk in buying lifetime deals, just like with any other software. So stay informed And I'll do my best to try to help with that. What to do? Here's a couple of tips for you. For those of you who are software SaaS purchasers, make a backup list, do an audit of the tools that you have at your disposal right now. For the Stream Bosses Academy folks, you know we have an audit sheet that I provided for you in your tools and templates. Go there. But an audit spreadsheet that allows you to put, here's the tool, here's how much I'm paying for it. This was a lifetime, or it's annual, or it's a monthly, or it's free. And here's the purpose of this tool. This is the type of tool it is. Because that also helps you to prevent the duplication of different resources and tools in your stack, your tech stack. Subscribe to their email alerts if you're an AppSumo or other type of lifetime deal user. That's another tip I'll give you there. Okay, let me check for questions and for any types of comments that you all might have on that too. Yes, okay. I see some. Let me pull my YouTube and LinkedIn folks over in here. I had to stop going there because my future purchase mentality had me losing money over things that went under. Exactly. That's why this was an important topic for us, right? Fatima, I love your transparency. It's one of the reasons we respect you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to be honest because I'm a user of these things too, and it's important for us to be aware and to be informed, and that's so important. Laugh out loud. I know, right? Rich. Right. So Enrique, I think he's talking about you because you were on Facebook. I pulled up your Facebook comment, but you're building on YouTube. Yeah, you know, we play in all the spaces. Yvette is listening. It's been a while and I'm catching up, trying to get back on YouTube. I love it. Okay. Go where you are celebrated. Louder for the people in the back, Chris Stone said. I agree. Play where you are celebrated. Go where you are celebrated. Let me make sure I pull up a couple of comments over here in our Substack space as well, because I want to acknowledge you over there. Yes, there are repeat founder offenders, right? People who clearly know what they're doing. They know they're not going to survive, but yet they're taking your money anyway. We don't want to do business with those people. James Hicks and his guests were talking about all those LTDs, the good and the bad. Yep, I think he might have had Greg Russell on. And I think I'm supposed to be on there next week as well. So we'll be talking again more about this, I believe. Pepper, good to see you, Pepper Thomas. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Yes, okay. I need to make sure that I can catch all the words over on Substack. So I'll be making some adjustments there. I promise I will fix that at some point in the very near future. Okay, folks. So yes, that's the third one, I believe. Let's talk about 4 and 5. Now these are kind of blended. 4 and 5. Here's what's happening. I had fun putting this together for you. Can you tell? Canva and VO3, y'all. Interesting. So Canva integrated Runway's latest VO3 model. For those of you who don't know what VO3 is, it's the hot topic, or it's one of the hot topics as it relates to AI video. You may be on my Facebook post. You might be. And if you are on my Facebook profile and you're following me at Video Coach Tanya on Facebook, you might have seen that I created a really cool and simple video and it was as a result of something that happened in real time. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm just going to put out there, I don't have to be invited to the table. I'm going to create my own table. And so I was like, I'm going to go on VO3 and I'm going to tell it to create for me, generate an image or a video of a Black female creator with short, stylish hair. Stylish. Hey, I'm going to tell it to create this. And she is creating her own table in a large town square with people all around, and a couple of other women are with her at the table. It's a beautifully carved wooden table with the words "Stream Like a Boss" on it, right? And so I created this video, and y'all, it was really cool. I wish if I had it immediately available to me, I would pull it up for you. So if anybody wants to see it, let me know and I'll find it later. But Yeah, it was a really cool video. VO3 can do some amazing stuff. Now, the thing about VO3 is that not only can it create the video, but it can also incorporate audio as well. And I'm talking about synced audio that goes with the video itself. So Canva has now integrated VO3, and I'm going to show you where you can go inside of Canva to access this, because it took me a minute to try to figure it out. So I'll do a quick demo. The only thing about it is it takes some time, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to actually make it process while we're talking. But I do think that it's worth a look if you have Canva. I want you to kind of take a look at that. It gives people access to text to video capabilities directly inside the Canva experience. That's what makes it such a competitive piece of information for you to have, is because a lot of times what has been happening is, like when VO3 came out, people were like, oh my God, I need to go over here and spend $300 a month on Gemini, Google, or, right, in order to get Gemini VO3 experience. When instead, many of the tools that we may already be using are going to start pulling these things in, making it more affordable, which is going to be my fifth and final one too. I'm going to talk about Midjourney, but it can bring cinematic quality AI video creation into your drag and drop ecosystem, right? Because a lot of us use Canva probably on the daily, multiple times a day, to create different designs. So having this capability is pretty cool. Now, I haven't played with it a lot, but I did play with it a little bit earlier. So I'm going to show you where you find it, because it wasn't that simple to me to find it. But you can turn text prompts into video clips for promotional material, for educational slides, for background footage. Chris Stone, B-roll. Chris is always getting on me about B-roll because he knows like I'm lame when it comes to creating B-roll, and he's a genius. But now I can be a genius too, Chris. Okay, so let me show you real fast. I'm going to show you what this looks like. If you're curious, type in curious in the comments. I want to see. I want to make sure that you care so that I can pull this demo up and it's going to be of value to you. I see some eyeballs over here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me pull up my screen share, okay? And I'm going to show you where it is. So when you go into Canva, here's what is happening. I am in Canva AI, okay? Canva AI. And I see curious. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know this is worth your time. Okay. So here's how I got to Canva AI, okay? And let me do a little flip thing because that's bugging me somewhat. Here, hold on one second. I'm going to do this. We'll do mirror. Okay. All right. So when you're inside of your Canva platform, now, mind you, I do have the paid version of Canva, so I don't know if you have free, if you're going to have the same access or not. Maybe not. Maybe not. So I'm telling you what I have, okay? All right. Over here, see right here, it says Canva AI. And so I click on that, and then it's going to pull up, what will you design today? And so when you go to your designs, templates, Canva AI right here, it's going to give you the opportunity to choose from to make different selections, right? Okay. And so you can add media. Sean Atkinson, I think that is you, sir, right? You can add media, or you can simply type in an idea and bring it to life, right? And so you get to choose from different styles. Here, let me exit out of all of this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, right? It's going to give you the ability to be able to choose from different styles. So create a video clip is what I chose. And it does have a crown on it, so that means it's probably a premium feature. You need to have a paid account. Styles, you can choose from these different types of styles. Hey, I want a 3D render. Aspect ratio, it does not have the 9:16 yet, so it doesn't have vertical yet, but it says coming soon. It does have the 16:9. Duration, the max right now is 8 seconds, and that is also what VO3 is giving you if you have if you have a certain account, which I can't think of right now with Gemini AI. And then framing. So I'm just going to choose 8 seconds since that's what's available. Framing. Do you want a close-up shot? Do you want a wide shot? Like, what do you want here? And then lighting. So I'm just going to say, give me a medium shot. And then lighting, it's giving you these different options. So soft lighting, hard lighting, dark lighting, whatever it is you want, right? And so then once you create or choose all of these things and type in your prompt, let me tell you the one thing that I'm finding that's really important is it's easy for us to get away with creating images by just putting a few lines in a prompt. If you want your video to be spot on, especially because it's using credits, you need to get crystal clear about what is in the vision that you have. Like, what do you really want to see? Give it details, as much detail as you possibly can in your prompt. Otherwise, it's going to make up things for you with video, okay? So I did create a simple one here. This particular one, super simple.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Let's talk about video creation and growing your online presence.
Okay. She's not even talking or anything, so I'd have to get a lot more clear about what I want her to do. But I created this in Canva AI in about 5 minutes. Okay. So it does take a little bit of time, and I suspect the more that people use this, it's probably going to take even longer because more people will be figuring out, oh my gosh, that's in there. But yeah, so you have the ability to be able to use this here. Now, let me see what you all are asking or typing in here. Let me pop this in here and see what kind of questions. Yeah, I typed Yvette Seeley. It's not me, but it's a woman in front of a choir singing. Okay, I'm not sure if you're typing that in Canva or what you're doing there, so that might be something else. But specific to Canva, let's see. I'm curious, but also a little terrified of this. I work in TV production for my day job. Yeah. Here's the key. I think the most important thing to consider, and I'm going to come back to comments here in a second. One thing I want to definitely hone in on is that exact thought process because it is scary. It's scary. It's scary to me that there are entire companies, corporations that are replacing their HR department with AI. Having been an HR person for 35 plus years, that's kind of scary. Like, but it's human resources, right? Huh? How do you replace an entire department? So yeah, there are some scary things, but here's the key. This is the thing I keep telling myself, and I'm trying to feed into my children too. And next generation is this. We need to become better performers. Like, we need to understand the concepts behind it so that we can use it and show our value as humans plus AI. Not allowing it to replace us, but to enhance what we already know. That's the game, right? What I know and what I've done over my lifetime from a career standpoint will never be replaced by AI. But I can enhance it. I can enhance what I already knew about instructional design to create courses. I can enhance what I already knew about coaching, and helping people to get to the solutions that they want. So keep that in mind. Yes, recruiting as well. Yeah, all of these things. So we want to learn and be informed. That's the theme of this whole evening, is being informed, so that we can see how can we create partnership? How can we leverage these as tools, right? Because I don't believe that we as people can be replaced in a lot of these occupations and careers, but I do believe we have an opportunity to continue to show our value because we understand how to make that thing do more when combined with our intelligence. Okay, so let's go. Let me see more comments here. This includes the font and style of it as well. Well, I don't know. I need to play more with it. But what I saw primarily there is the imagery is there, right? I have not tried it with text yet. I think that is something for you to definitely take to heart and kind of play around with. But again, giving any type of video AI creation tools, you want to give it specific information about what you want, very detailed. I did this in a hurry, which is why it's not great, but give it specific details. So really sit down and think about it before you use your credits to do this AI stuff, right? Yes, AI learns from us, so it still needs our insights for continued learning. It would make sense to look how to coach people on how to partner with it. It's not going away. Exactly. It's here. We're not reversing the trajectory. This train has left the building, like it's on the tracks now, right? So it's not going anywhere. Yes, humans plus AI. This is the time to get in the race or get left behind. You said it. Thank you, Evie said, for fabulous for sharing these inspiring reminders. You're welcome. You're welcome. The trucking supply chain and warehouse industries are beginning to use AI more as well. Absolutely, they are. Every industry out there that I can think of is starting to leverage it in some way, shape, or form. Similar to the social media jobs that started being hired on the corporate side, AI was bound to be added to the mix. It is. So, how valuable will you be when you come into a position, into a role, and say, let me share with you how I'm leveraging this tool to be more efficient and more productive while also bringing my human knowledge, my compassion, my emotional intelligence into the mix. Like, you can demonstrate that, but you can only do that if you know both sides, right? Playing with it now. Wow. Okay. Yes, y'all. So there are absolutely some things. I think there are prompt optimizers like Prompt Pure. Yes, can help you to actually come up with better prompts so you can put in there. Enrique, I'm telling you, man. And if you already got the paid version of Canva, just imagine. So you're saving money. Hello, because it's already included. You already have the options. Now, who knows what Canva's going to do later? They might be like, yeah, we're going to charge for this now. They might. I don't know. They might. Let me see. I saw a lot of curious symbols or signs in the Substack space. Let me pull some of these over here. Alicia said it. AI is a tool. That's exactly right. To improve creativity, business, etc. It is not to be used. We don't want it to replace us. We don't want that. We want it to enhance what we do and what we know, and to help us to move in a timely fashion, to be adept, right, at moving and flexible. And that's, again, one of the things I love about being a small business owner and a service provider is that we can move a lot more nimbly than some of the larger organizations. We can. We can act as though we are large companies because of the power of tools like AI. So keep watching. Pay attention to what's happening, y'all. Okay, the last one I'm going to talk about, because I knew we were going to be a little over the hour, and hopefully that's okay. You can always come back and watch the replay if you need to leave. But there's one more I wanted to share with you, which is along the same lines as the Canva plus AI, and that's Midjourney. So Midjourney released the V1 video model. So I'm going to pull up my Midjourney account and show you where this is. I have not played with this one yet, but I think Jonathan Mast put it best when he was sharing some thoughts about Midjourney and V1. And by the way, Jonathan Mast is one of my mentors as it relates to AI and just learning how to leverage it in a real way, like for things beyond business, right? Midjourney is known for generating detailed AI art. So it's known for the images. You can generate these images from various prompts, and it has launched its first video tool. So I'm going to pop up my account in just a second. The move is shifting Midjourney from still image generation to animated storytelling. What? So again, Canva AI. I picked up something called Jog AI. 11 Labs is a tool that a lot of you probably are familiar with. There are a ton of tools out there that are able, Fall AI, FAL AI, all of these tools are able to take images and animate these images. What? Yes. So it's putting stylized visual storytelling into the hands of everyday creators. The one thing I want to tell you about as it relates to Midjourney is the pricing model is genius, because if you have their $10 a month plan, which is cheaper than the Canva plan, y'all. If you have their $10 a month plan, it's going to do all these things. So let me show you. Oh my goodness. Let me pop this comment up because I agree, C3 Global Agency. It's a beast. I have been having such a fun time with Jog AI. I'm going to be doing some classes on this in the very near future. I just had to sit down and finish live stream summer school, y'all, so I could come out with these workshops. So it's coming. Evie says we are meant to use AI, not the other way around, because after all, we have the source of ideas. We are infinitely abundant. We are IA. Oh, girl, hold on. Wait, I got to pop up a fire explosion for that one. Yes, yes, yes. Evie, that was genius. That was beautiful. Okay, first of all, let me give you a gold. And I got to put some applause on it. Hey, that's real talk. That's real talk. We are IA. Look, I'm going to attribute it to you, but Evie, I might be popping that up somewhere else. And make sure I say, Evie told me. Jog AI has completely transformed the way I create videos. Me too, and I just started using it. So there are things out there. Let me show you my screen share so I can show you Midjourney so that we can give V1 a spin and test some animations. I don't know, again, because these things do take time to process. I don't want you sitting here with the Jeopardy music going while I'm making it process. So I'm just going to do a screen share and show you. This is Midjourney, right? So Midjourney, it's a really fun place to be. It really is. What I'm noticing now that's different than just a week ago is all of these different animations. So they're really showcasing for you what the animations can look like. I mean, super realistic. Holy moly. Y'all, yeah. Yeah, definitely going to have to play in here. So let me see if we can figure out where this is. So I am used to creating. I like to create a lot of like artistic things. So when I'm creating my Go Brunch rooms, for instance, I do a lot of that inside of Midjourney. For my Stream Like a Boss live stream summer school, I created different promotional type of images, but I hadn't played yet with the video. So I'm trying to see if we can tell quickly where that is, where we're turning this on. But that is awesome. Okay, so we got folders there, which is good. I haven't even played with that. There's so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to have to play with this some more to tell you exactly where it is. But under updates, if you go into updates, they have already begun to start sharing more information about how to use it. So they introduced the V1 video model yesterday. So this is hot off the press. Okay. So you will want to definitely, if you have Midjourney or you've been thinking about it, you'll want to take a look at the announcement and to get more information. But they are releasing it. It says for the entire community. What? So $10 a month. I'm just telling y'all. That's what that does is it opens up, both Canva and Midjourney are opening up the opportunity for you as a small business owner, as a maybe somebody who's limited as a creator, like that's not your jam, right? But even you can now create some amazing content. It's leveling the playing field for us as small business owners with companies who have entire teams, especially because there's no limit to your imagination and to your vision of what you want to see. That's how I've been able to create so many amazing different types of images, because the other I don't know, it's been a few months now. I realized at some point that I needed to unlock my brain and stop thinking like I always thought, right? I needed to go back to elementary school when I used to love to doodle and do sketches, when I used to sit down and do creative writing and write a story and make up characters. I made a character called Patumbe a long time ago. I used to write little novels about this person. And I realized we have to dig back into that time when we had all of that creative energy and we thought everything was possible. Because the more you can tap into that side, the more you can tap into that part of your brain, the better your prompts will be, and the more you can bring your vision to life. So I'm not going to stay on a soapbox with that because, like I said, I got some workshops coming up, but I think that that is the key, that we need to go back to when things were limitless. We need to go to a place in our minds, in our vision, in our past experiences where we could create anything. And we weren't limited by our imagination in any way, shape, or form, because now we literally can bring those things to life using this type of content for $10 a month. What? I'm just saying. Y'all, the possibilities are endless for what we can do. I mean, come along with me on this journey, y'all. Let's do this. Let me see. C3 Global Agency. I take a photo of my cloned avatar and turned it into a video in Jog AI. Yes, I'm doing the same thing right now, C3, with podcasting. Yeah, there are things we can do, y'all. Yes, the right image generator partner with the creative mind opens up a whole new world. It does. I believe this in my heart of hearts. And the thing about it is, it also opens up our options so that we don't feel like we have to constantly be competing with other people, because we still all have a unique set of filters and experiences and stories to build off of. So we can create original content, right? Yeah, some of the concepts may not be original, but in the end, what we put out there probably is. I can't think of anybody else who's put out the same exact content and images that I've put out. Yeah, develop the meta skills to outthink your old self every 90 days. I like that, Sean. Yes, how do I evolve beyond what can be automated? These are questions we're asking ourselves instead of how do I ensure AI doesn't make me obsolete? Yes, let me pop it back up in reverse order. There we go. That's what we should be asking. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Thank you so much for the commentary over here as well. Yes, go get your podcast done, Sean. It was good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Let me see what else we've got here. Yes, what you just did was a mind shift. We need to go back to when things were limitless. Yes, that mindset will cause us to think differently and open up more doors for ourselves. This is my purpose, for you to see the possibilities, for us to no longer be limited by other people or by ourselves, because most of the time it's us limiting us. Let's be honest. I purchased Go Brunch because of your videos and met so many amazing people in the process that I'm able to learn from. Yay! Possibilities. I love it. I have no competition. There is no competition. I say this all the time. All you're doing is improving what you do and who you are and how you show up. I don't worry about what other people are putting out into the world, right? Am I looking for other ideas? Sure, I am. But in the end, I want to show up as the best me possible. Oh, yeah. It's bringing in crazy traffic and most of it was done. Oh, okay. Wait, let me back up. You built a virtual museum? Holy moly. That is amazing with Go Brunch. I love it. Congrats on the 2.5K. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. I'm so excited about that too, y'all. It's been slow going. Am I at 10,000? No. Do I have friends that are? Yes. Am I worried about that? No. I'm running my own race. I'm running it in a way that I feel good about what I'm doing and putting out into the world. Are there ways that I can improve? Absolutely. Does every coach need a coach? Yes. I have my own coach and I hire coaches to help with specific things so that I can continue to get better and to grow and to learn. There is no such thing as stopping, right? We don't stop learning. We don't ever know all that we can know. But I'm running my own race. So for some people who are like, oh, she only got 2,500, I am so happy. I was like doing a happy dance around that thing. Like, yes, celebrating, because it has been consistency and it has been me making a decision that I'm going to do it the way that I choose to do it. I'm going to do it in a way that feels right for me. Right. And I think we get to choose that. So you definitely need to hear some of my guests on Midlife Unmuted, the podcast, because we're getting real into that conversation, y'all. I've got some good ones coming up. It's going to be, woo. If you haven't heard Ed Troxel already and heard Shannon Hernandez, woo, y'all need to go midlifeunmuted.com. Go check it out. Thank you. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you, y'all. It is insane. It is insane. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Y'all, I'm going to take you on a really quick trip, a quick journey back to what we covered tonight. I am celebrating. My goals for my channel is to use tech to enhance handmade things. I love that. Spooling around, that's so unique. What a great niche. I'm trying to find uses for AI in that space. Ooh, I have some ideas. Look, when we do these workshops, these AI workshops that are coming up, this is going to be we're going to have some fun. So y'all just, I know, give me a little, be patient with me because I've got like 1,000 balls in the air, but I am coming. Correct. We are only limited by ourselves. Yes, Michelle. Yes, digging deep into that creativity. Thank you over here on Substack family. All right, y'all. Okay, so let's do a quick recap because otherwise I could be here all night with you because I just love this so much. But I want to also make sure that I get a little rest and relaxation because this is like my 4th day in a row of live streaming. Okay, so recap. Here's what I shared with you, okay? And these are the things to kind of go back. If you're watching the replay, these are the things I want you to pay attention to. So we talked about 5 things. We talked about CapCut. We talked about the nature of the terms of service that they've put into place. It's a shift. And you want to be at least aware, even if you continue to choose to be on that platform. You need to know about the things that they're saying that they can do. Perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, royalty-free license to use, reproduce, modify, distribute, and display your content, including your drafts and unpublished material. Don't miss that. Also, no opt-out. Also, you can be held liable if they are sued over your content. So those are things that are important. The second thing we talked about is Facebook videos are now all reels. So they have reelified, or as Mari Smith likes to say, TikTokified Meta, right? So you need to be aware of that, especially if you're creating long form content in that space. You need to know that you need to make sure that it's appropriate for reels, or that you're somehow repurposing it in a way where if you're using that space, if that's a priority for you, that you're leveraging things like hooks, engagement, prompts, and those type of things, right? Caption strategy even. The next thing we talked about was AppSumo improving their transparency. So we talked about how they have shared that they're going to email us if there is a purchase tool that starts to show some signs of failure. Then they're going to let us know in a more transparent way. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, combined with their "we got your back" coverage policy that they have. The next thing we talked about was Canva and VO3, y'all. VO3 AI video is inside of Canva, so it's something to explore, and I did a short demo to show you where to access that. And then the last thing we talked about is Midjourney, who has now released, as of yesterday, a V1 video model that will give you the ability to be able to take your images and to animate those images. I still need to play with that, so I don't know all the things, but I do know that there are lots and lots of tools out there that can help you to be more creative, showcase your creative energy and your vision. But we also need to make sure that we're marrying who we are with what the capabilities are in these tools. We're not just turning over our creativity to these tools. We are saying, hey, wait, this is my vision. This is what I see. Now, let me use these tools to enhance that, right? Okay. You are very welcome, Dr. Vibe. Thank you as well. I am loving the comments and that you're supporting each other in the comments, both on Substack as well as LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. If you have not followed, liked, and subscribed, be sure to do that in whatever space you choose to, because I'm showing up in all of them when I come on Thursdays, okay? Now, on the second and fourth Thursdays, right before my show, I'm also going to be with the Technologist Forum over with James Hicks and crew. So definitely come if you want to know more about tech. We're going to be talking tech on his show. And it's usually a panel, so it's always fun to hear different opinions and perspectives all in one setting. So that's a lot of fun. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Oh, yeah. If you want to subscribe, check us out over on streamlikeaboss.tv. This is where you can subscribe. And even better, you can take our quiz. If you go to streamlikeaboss.tv and you hit that main page, our quiz is on that main page. And I actually have used AI to generate a lot of different images that are fun to look at. If you go to my website, you'll see them. But the quiz is really helpful. It's great information. And as a matter of fact, when you take the quiz, what happens on the back end is you're going to get access to my custom GPT. There's a bot that I've created that allows you to dig deeper and to go further with understanding your personality, your archetype, and how it fits into the live streaming space. And it gives you tips and advice on how to use that to really perform better when it comes to your live stream. So very fun. Sean, thank you so much for 4 days in a row. I can do this Substack research. Oh, yes, I will come back. So, Sean, because of you, I do Tech Tuesdays, right? And I usually try to go off of people's questions. So how about this? I will commit to next Tuesday being how to actually go live on Substack. So join me over there, streamlikeaboss.substack.com or hub.streamlikeaboss.tv. You can find me, right? On Substack Tuesday, I will do a run through of how to actually go live there. So if anybody has questions on that, that will be what we'll do on our Tech Tuesday. Hold me to it. I will do that, okay, on Tuesday. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be in your space this evening, wherever you are watching from. I appreciate you. I'm thankful for you. And I'm just so glad that we get a chance to be here together. I hope that you will continue to be well. I hope that you will continue to learn and to grow. Never stop learning. Never stop being the creative person that you are, the visionary that you are for yourself and for the people around you. And I will see you next time in the stream.